Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're venturing into something a bit different from the usual Geometry Dash content as the title suggests. I wanted to take some time to discuss something that's been on my mind lately. Cinematic one-liners that are either overhated, terrible, or both. Spoiler alert, most of that fall into the third category. So what are the top 10 shittiest lines in movies? Creating this list required research, which is mostly why this video took longer to produce than usual, if that's possible. Apparently you can't just type the worst one-liners in movies into Google and get immediate results. I had to dig across the web for this one. All of this small effort is to bring you kind of, if not entertaining and half well thought out video, so if you're enjoying it so far, please consider subscribing. No pressure, but it would mean a lot. Now, onto the actual list. And remember, this is just my opinion, so feel free to discuss it in the comments, but keep it civil, of course.
Let's go!
Number 10. We're not so different, you and I. Though often used to reveal the ethnic complexity of the hero and villain, it's become kind of a trope. While not completely terrible, being the best on the list, its predictability reduces the impact. And I never said it wasn't bad still. Technically, it's used near the resolution where the antagonist wants to show the protagonist that they share similarities, an overused plot device that brings nothing new to the table. Number 9. I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you. What was once a sly, playful line has now become cliché. When used with irony, it's not complete BS, but overall, it's lost most of its charm for the general repetition. Number 8. I'm getting too old for this. A classic, predictable line. While it's often delivered with humor and such, it's still overused to the point of exhaustion. It's the mark of an aging character who just can't stop, in this case, overusing lines, if you get what I mean. Number 7. You just don't get it, do you? This phrase is dramatic and often used to express frustration. While repetitive, it sometimes works to highlight a breakdown in communication during intense moments. It's essentially a more dramatic version of number 2 on this list, which I will speak of later. Number 6. I work alone. Meant to define a character as some lone wolf, this line is predictable because we all know they'll likely end up teaming anyway. Although it hints at independence, its overusage ruins its significance. Number 5. We've got company. A quick alert in action scenes, this line has been so overused it has lost its impact. The typical setup, protagonist hiding only to be found, has become a standard, uninspired plot point. Number 4. It's quiet. Too quiet. Intended to build suspense, this line has become so undeniably vintage that it loses its effect. It's more worn out than a good tool for tension. Typically, it signals that something's about to happen, stripping scenes of real surprise. I mean, seriously, think about it. Number 3. There's no time to explain. Used as a simple dialogue skipper, this line often feels like crap-tasting mouthwash. Ironically, there's almost always some time to explain. While Toy Story 2 used it cleverly, it's rarely as effective elsewhere, making it feel more like a filler than substance. Number 2. You wouldn't understand. This line is frequently used to add drama, but often feels just boring. Instead of creating meaningful tension, it just adds unnecessary frustration. In moments when characters could have deeper conversations, resorting to this phrase feels like lazy writing, like the last one usually. Let's face it, if you're scripting a major movie, quality dialogue shouldn't be an afterthought. Looking at you, Joker 2. Honorable mention. He's right behind me, isn't he? I didn't include this in the main list because of how incredibly cliche it is to even exist here, and I just didn't really have anything to say for it. Sorry about that. And finally, number 1. Is that all you got? This is my pick for the worst one-liner of all time. Intended to sound defiant, it often comes across as predictable and irritating. Whether in serious fight scenes or comedic moments, it adds little to no impact. Its constant repetition, especially in modern anime, makes it feel tired and uninspired. And that wraps up my list of the most overused one-liners in cinema. I hope you found this as entertaining as I did while making it, pretty much. See you in the next video, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.